Hello, my fellow K-poppers. In today's K-pop conversations, I'm going to be talking about Yves' solo debut slash re-debut. And for those of you that are just discovering Yves, she's actually a former member of Loona, and this is basically her fourth time officially debuting. Yes, she is up there with the ranks of NCT's Mark, Hyuna, and other idols who have debuted so many times in the industry that it's actually crazy. I'll explain. So before officially debuting with the rest of the members of Loona, like every member of Loona has done, Yves released a solo debut song to introduce her as one of the girls of the month for Loona's pre-debut project. Then she debuted in one of the 3 Loona subunits, which was also in preparation of the official debut, until she finally debuted with the other 11 members of Loona. So that's 3 debuts plus this one, so this is her 4th debut. So with all that being said, I'm just trying to show you that Yves is no rookie to the K-pop industry. She's a veteran, she has experience, and she is very talented. So I was so ecstatic to hear that she was debuting again and releasing new music post Loona BBC era. So when I heard she was gonna make her long-awaited comeback, what I really wanted to see some standout choreography, or just any choreography that was not simple, that was not, just like a 1, 2, 3. I really wanted to see Yves in her element because she was one of the main dancers of Loona and her dancing skills are just amazing. So that's what I wanted to see. And then I also wanted her to just release a song that was just really fun and vibey and dancey. So, but I didn't know what to expect because post Loona era, with Lucemble and ARTMS and Chu, they're all trying out different music styles and sounds and experimenting, which they should do. They're just growing musically, and that's awesome. And I didn't know if she was going to make a comeback. I know I was waiting for that. Fellow ouriis, ouriis, and c.loos were waiting for that, but to hear that it was actually happening and see it happen, so that's so exciting. And as per usual, this video is divided into chapters, so feel free to watch any parts that you want to watch and skip the ones you don't. Alright, let's talk about the music video. So Yves, her solo debut is called Loop. With this music video, the first thing I'm thinking is I feel like Yves really wants a fresh start, and I feel like she doesn't want to have so many connections to the loonaverse and to all the lore. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but it's always 50-50. We can be on the side of she wants to be completely separate from that, and then the side of, maybe she has it in mind and will throw in little references here and there. Because the music video at first glance, it's just her. It looks like she's in a subway dancing, and there's these unidentified flying objects that seem to follow her. Then she's in a tunnel, and it mostly just seems like dancing and having fun with a crew of dancers that just randomly join you in dancing. But my orbit, Udi, Clue, and Cult Heart, I don't know if I'm saying Chu's fandom's name right. Koti? Well, my orbit heart, I can't help but look at that music video and try to find references. So the first thing I noticed is that it looks like she's in a subway tunnel. It's an underground space, and I remember that one clip that they showed in a Loonaverse concert. I didn't go to the concert, unfortunately, but someone uploaded that clip to YouTube, and in the clip it shows Yves in a tunnel or something. The tunnel kind of looks similar to the tunnel that Yves is dancing in for the dance break in the music video, but in that clip she's walking there and she meets Cherry, and she gives Cherry the apple which I think is Yves' assigned fruit for her time in Loona. So she meets Cherry, gives her the apple, And when I saw loop, when I saw the setting, I was like, this reminds me of that clip. Like, is this intentional or not? Like, I can't help it. And then I noticed the mirror when Yves looks at herself and starts dancing, but her reflection is the one that starts dancing first. So that mirror actually reminds me of the loonaverse as well, because as we all know, Cherry, another former member of Loona and a member of Odd Eye Circle, Cherry has the ability to teleport and travel through worlds. We usually see Cherry traveling through portals and through other worlds using a mirror. So if you think of Love Cherry Motion, she has that small, that circle mirror. And then someone else pointed it out, because I didn't notice it at first, that when her bag falls on the floor, there's actually sand in her bag, and there's some other objects, but I can't remember right now. But the sand to me is very, very reminiscent of like the moon, like in Loona's Why Not music video, when Hyunjin takes the step on the moon and loses her sneaker like Cinderella. You can see like the soil on the moon, it's kind of sandy, so that sand reminded me of that. It also reminded me of Chu's Howl music video, or actually Chu's like post Loona debut era, because I feel like there was another song. What was it? Was it called Water? I don't know what it was called, but Chu had Howl and she had another song with a music video. In the other music video, she was like in the water, or there was a beach and she was walking on sand, and the sand in Yves' bag reminds me of Chu as well, because of the beach setting that Chu had. So another Loona connection there. Oh yeah, and then let's talk about the unidentified flying objects, because those objects remind me of the evil alien drones that we saw in Lucembo's Girls' Night music video. Different from the drones in Girls' Night music video, I think these objects, they have like a different shape, and I don't think they are an evil force. I think they are a good force in this music video, because they don't really do anything but follow Yves, and I think they're kind of watching over her, or maybe they are watching over every person and creature in the world that Yves is in. So a little side note, I have a theory about the 12 members of Loona post-Loona era, which is basically them getting separated from each other again and having this really big awful battle. And so like they're all in different places and worlds, which explains why we have, you know, Lucembo, ARTMS, and Chu in completely different places doing different things, and Yves as well. If you want to hear more about that theory, you can always check out my other videos. I will put them in the description below so you can check it out. But that's basically the gist of that theory that I have. So since all the 12 girls are separated and they're in different worlds, and you know, they're like trying to find each other, but it's like really difficult because they don't know where they're at. And you know, like if you don't know where someone's at, like how are you gonna call or text them, or like send them a Morse code, or send them a message in a bottle? It's kind of hard. You can try different places, but it, you know, it's kind of hard. So I feel that Yves is in this new world, right? And she's worried and a bit like anxious and maybe a little scared at first, because in the Loop MV we see her walking through the tunnel and she's clutching her backpack and she's walking really fast and kind of like just trying to get somewhere. But I also get the feeling that she doesn't really know where she's going, and that reminds me of me. Like if I have to go somewhere new and I Google the directions, I'm just like trying to get there and like trying not to look lost. You should always look like you know where you're going, because you know, safe, you want to be safe, and you just, you know, you don't want to be wandering. So I get that vibe. So it seems that she's worried at first, and then she sees like the dancers, and you know, she's like worried that they're looking at her. And then all of a sudden, once she like hides behind that pole and looks at her reflection in the mirror, like she feels like more better and safe and comfortable. My theory for the unidentified flying objects, I think they're actually a type of surveillance or like guardian in this world. I don't want to call them cops, because that would be I don't think that fits. But I feel like maybe there's some kind of guard, like they just like watch over the creatures and people of this world, and they're kind of sussing Yves out to see if she's like friend or foe, like who is this person that was never here before and just showed up. And I think over the course of the music video, they're like, okay, she seems cool, she seems harmless, and they let her be. Also, another thing I want to point out, remember how I was saying that Yves, maybe she doesn't want to have so many loonaverse references because she just wants to separate from that and have like, you know, a new kind of music identity, which she is having, but she doesn't want to have like visuals that are just tied to the loonaverse, right? So with all that being said, I find it really, really ironic and iconic that she chose, because I think she's making a lot of, you know, choices with her music going forward, which she should, right? I find this so ironic and iconic that she chose to collaborate with an artist named Lil Cherry, because cherry is the fruit of cherry, and cherry and cherry's names are basically the same except for the O in cherry's name. So I mean, just like out of all the like rappers, or you know, Korean rappers, or just like other rappers that would be open to collaborating with Yves, that she's like, yep, I want to collab with Lil Cherry. Like another loonaverse reference that is not coincidental. I don't believe it's coincidental. Oh yeah, and then the part where she is doing the dance break in the tunnel, there's like a flash of light, and then it goes back to her being on the floor in the deeper part of the tunnel. And when I saw that part, I was thinking maybe she takes a moment, because she's in a new place, right? So before she gets herself to be comfortable, feel comfortable, I think she just takes a moment to just like breathe and calm herself down and be like, you know what, it's gonna be okay. This is new, this is scary, but you know, I just gotta roll with it. So I think that's actually her thinking in her mind. Like when we see her in the dance break part, I think that's just her in her mind, like having a moment to just reboost her confidence and not be worried about being in this new world. And the whole subway vibe, dancing in the subway, also reminds me of Michael Jackson's Bad. I'm a huge MJ fan, and when I saw her dancing in the subway, I thought of MJ's Bad because he danced in the subway for his Bad music video. And I also thought of all the New York City subway dancers and acrobatic people and the Showtime guys that dance in the subway. I think it's cool that Yves chose to have her music video just be her dancing in what looks like to be a subway or tunnel, because I feel like it does stand out. There's not so many crazy visuals to look at. It's simple but artsy. I think in most K-pop music videos, there's just like a million things going on at once, which I do enjoy very much, but it's not often you see like a simple music video that just like perfectly matches the song and the vibe. Okay, now let's talk about the tracks, the music. So let's start with Loop, her title track. As soon as I heard Loop, I immediately fell in love with it. I really love house music and pop dance, which I think this song is in that genre. You know, this kind of music just makes you want to get up and dance and vogue and just be so carefree and happy. I love the instrumental, I love everything about it. And I also really love Lil Cherry's feature on the song. I was hearing some people saying in the comments that they didn't like Lil Cherry's voice and they don't know why she's on the song, but I love her sassy, gritty, just attitude, tone in her voice and the delivery. I feel like, you know, Yves' like soothing, soft vocals perfectly matches with the contrast of Lil Cherry's just like in-your-face grit. And you know the clock ticking sound that happens right before the chorus, where it's like tick, 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 and then she goes, can't stop. That ticking sound, I love it so much. But I think that's also a nice connection to the loonaverse. I mean, she probably did not intend for that to be, but that ticking sound just reminds me of like the clock in Luna's Flip That music video, and also the the like alarm clock for their 12 o'clock midnight album, where they had like a little teaser that showed like the clock changing from 11:59 to 12. Her having the ticking sound in her song was a nice little reference, whether it was intentional or not. And can we talk about the choreo? Like, do you see Yves? Do you see the choreo? All of the hand loops are a perfect match. The song is called Loop, and the way she's just like looping her wrist, and then she's just like it's a perfect match. And you know, choreography, she delivered on that, which I really wanted her to have choreography, and she did. And now I'm just gonna like talk a little bit about some of the lyrics that stood out to me. When she says, "I can't escape, it's all fine, fine." So this line is basically representing how we can feel trapped within the schedules of our daily life with work and school and other obligations. And the song is called Loop, right? So we're trying to break out of the loop. And then she says, "I swear I'll never let you down. Lock me up in my dreams." So when she says lock me up in my dreams, I think this is also just emphasizing the whole idea of breaking out of a loop, because when you have your daily life, like a lot of times people just wish they were doing something else or pursuing their actual dreams. They feel like they can't. So just like, you know, lock me up in a dream, because it's better there than what's actually happening in reality. And of course, when she's like, "I know you like you know, babe, because you always be my favorite," a reference to one of Loona's songs, Favorite. And then when she says, "You're trapped in the can't stop trap. You're already hurt, look in the mirror." So basically, when we look at our reflection in the mirror, I feel like we can focus on our flaws and really have tunnel vision and don't exactly feel beautiful or wish we can change things. So I think when we get stuck in the loop and just stick to a routine, it's like when you look at yourself in the mirror, because when you look in the mirror, you kind of have tunnel vision. And when you're like in your routine, you feel trapped. So like looking beyond that to see the beauty and the bigger picture than just that one thing. And of course, when she says looking at the starlight, a reference to another Loona song, Luna Star, because they say the word starlight there. And when she says, "I'm lost, but I like it," I think this line is a nice example of how having moments of spontaneous activity, doing something different, walking a different path to work or school, deciding to have a last-minute road trip, going somewhere without knowing exactly where, like, okay, don't go somewhere without knowing where you're going, but like, if you're just like, okay, just want to go out and do something, and you just take the bus or train, and maybe you decide to go see a movie, but like without planning it. She's like, "I'm lost, but I like it." So it's like, enjoy the spontaneous, because that will help break out of the loop. Like, yes, you still have your responsibilities, your job, your work or school, but you're doing something fun and exciting, because you got to keep that spark alive within yourself and just go do something different to have fun. And I have to say that Loop is one of my favorites on the album. There's only one other song on this album that I really, really love, that I like, that I would listen to. So Loop and another song that I really love. But yes, I have to say this is a quality solo debut. I can feel and see all of the hard work she put into it. This was not something that they just scrambled together, and I don't feel like this was something that someone at the company just like handed it to her blindly and said, "Here, this is, and you're gonna do it." I feel like she had input. I hope she had a lot of input. But looking at her little highlight medley album explanation video, it seems like she had, you know, a major part in, you know, making her album, even though I don't really see her having a lot of song credits or composer credits. But I feel like she really put her heart and soul into this and had, you know, a bigger say than she did when she was in Loona. Alright, now let's talk about my other favorite song on the album, Diorama. As soon as I heard this song in the highlight medley, I knew this was my favorite. Like, this song, Diorama and Loop, like they're they're both my favorites, but if I really had to choose like one, like if you really came and said, okay, between Loop and Diorama, you have to choose one, I would choose Diorama because I love R&B, and she described this song as being mechanical R&B, and I guess Yves calls it that because at the beginning of the song and throughout the song, there's like a little kind of like robotic electrical sounds. Like it still sounds full on R&B, but those sounds I guess make it mechanical R&B. Anyway, I love this song so much. For me, the way I interpret it is that this song, the lyrics are like someone is like speaking to themselves and they're trying to reach their ideal self. Like they're trying to like manifest, meditate, wish for, pray for themselves to be like who they want to be, right? Like if someone has a dream of like being a doctor, you know, they want to reach that, or if they just want to like be healthier, like they want to eat healthier, exercise, work out, and they want to like have a better paying job, or they want to fall in love, like manifesting. Like I think manifesting has become so trendy recently. Like people have videos where they're like, oh, close your eyes, focus on what you want, and then you can have it, like things like that. So for me, this is how I interpret the lyrics. Like it's someone talking to themselves, like they're trying to manifest. Because in the album highlight medley explanation video where Yves talks about the songs, she actually does mention that Diorama was created because she wondered what would happen if I met the ideal version of myself, which she thinks that she did meet through preparing this album. So like she even said it herself, like what if I met the ideal version of myself? And if you look at the word diorama, like the definition, it's like a model. You know, you can make it like using cardboard with clay, or you know, you can draw it out, but it's basically like a 3D representation of a scene, of a thing, a place. And a diorama usually is like a perfect little replica of something. Ideally, a diorama is like a nice little replica and it's showing something. It's supposed to look right. I think I will go as far as saying it's supposed to look like a perfect replica. In this song, the diorama of ourselves, right? We want to reach this ideal version, you know, we want to like look better, be healthier, have more money, have love, you know, have everything we want and attract it through the law of attraction using our mind. The lyrics, I'm just to dream in, chase my drama, it's my second day. So first off, it's my second day, a reference to her song Day One, which I believe was a B-side in her like solo release for her in her Loona era. So that's a reference to Day One. Now it's her second day, it's a new day. When she says chase my drama, this reminds me of how like negative thoughts and just like negative feelings within ourselves can really sabotage us, because like when you try to manifest something or work towards something, you know, you attract what you think about. So if you do that, but then you're like also thinking about like negative things, like, oh, I really want to do this, oh, but is it really gonna happen? Can I really do it? Maybe I'm not able to because of this and that. So then we start thinking about the negative stuff, and maybe like we're attracting that. So when she says chase my drama, I feel like she's trying to like this person is telling themselves like we need to like chase it and like manage it and push it away, because if not, it's gonna overpower us. And she's saying, I'm just to dream in. Dream. She's dreaming. This person is in the state of dreaming, meditating, praying, wishing, however you want to call it, thinking about what they want, imagining how amazing it would be. So this is her, you know, like using her mind to visualize it. When she says, I don't want to free you, no, I just want to feel you, babe. So I don't want to free you. Again, some people can say this is a love song. I'm saying this is like a self-reflection song. So when she says I don't want to free you, I think she's talking about the ideal version that she's thinking about. She doesn't want it to be free, because if you stop thinking about it, you'll lose sight of like the things you're trying to attract and manifest. So she's like, no, I don't want to free this ideal version of myself that I'm trying to be. I want to keep it in my mind and think about it so that it can happen. So I don't want to free you. That's what I think for that. She says, I just want to feel you, right? So when people talk about manifesting, they say you have to visualize it, pretend you have whatever you want, imagine how it would smell, how it would feel like if you're touching it. So I want to feel you. So she wants to feel how it would feel to be her ideal self, like if she's successful, if she finds love, you know, if she's like manifesting money, how it would feel in her hands. Then she says, try to fit in. So fake it till you make it. You have to act like you have whatever you want, even though you don't have it, which is really hard because I've tried manifesting too. So it's like, you know, if you want to randomly get like $500, then you have to focus, manifest, you know, pretend, close your eyes, visualize, pretend you have it, and like what would it smell like, what would it feel like, pretend you're like touching it, and you really have to do that. But I think it's hard like to fit into that mindset, because then you're in your current mindset and you're like, well, I don't have $500 and I don't know how logically I will get that because I'm not in a position where I can get an extra $500. So then it's kind of like you wanna pretend and go with it, but then you're also like thinking like the rational part, like is this gonna happen? Am I gonna do it? Like, I don't really have that. Where is it gonna come from? You know, things like that. And then from day one, best timing felt just right. So the timing feels right from day one. So I think the first time you try to manifest or like wish for something or attract it, it's like the day where you're most passionate about it, because you're like, yes, this sounds like a great idea. I think I can do it. Let me just focus. Like, you know, everything, the timing feels right. You were in my sight in dreams, the shining lights I know. So, you know, you're dreaming about it, you can see it, you can see where you want to be, you want to reach it. And then you were my night's bright guide. So basically, you know, we're focused and determined. So our determination and discipline will be the light that guides us through achieving our goals and dreams. When she says every setting is just right, for me, I feel that means the manifesting is working so far, but you're nowhere in my sight. Boy, you're nowhere in my sight. We're going to ignore the word boy. So for this line, I think it means that she's starting to falter and doubt herself. Like I said, manifesting is not easy and it can kind of feel like silly. Like, is this really gonna work? Why am I doing this? So she's starting to falter. And she says, I don't know, should I stay or not? So it's like she's saying, can I really become this person that I want to be? Can this really happen? Oh, and then when she says, maybe I can get lost in you, just tell me how to think, babe. The thought and the scent, yeah. This scene and my vision. So when she says, maybe I can get lost in you. So I think this is her like saying, you know, I want to get lost in the manifesting of my ideal life. Like, let me get lost in it. Let me really feel like the ideal version of myself. Like, maybe I can just get lost in it. Like, if I just, you know, let all the doubts and negativity fall away, maybe I can get lost in it. And just tell me how to think. So this line right here is why I argue this is not a love song, because you should never tell your partner or lover or spouse, whatever, your romantic person, you should never tell them to tell you how to think, because you have your own mind, you make your own decisions. Like, so I'm like, this is not really supporting the love song theory for these lyrics. So tell me how to think. It's like, how am I supposed to mentally visualize this? Like, please, I need help with this whole manifesting thing. And then the thought and the scent, scene and my vision. Like I said before, when you manifest, you have to really pretend you're in that spot. Like, if you want to get those $500, you have to pretend you already have it in your wallet. You have to pretend you've already touched the dollar bills and you've smelled it and things like that. So yeah. Moving on to Afterglow. Afterglow is like a soft pop rock kind of song. This is definitely a song that if Yves ever performs it at like a concert that she has within the near future, this is the song where like everyone just like holds up their phone and has the little flash of light, and they just go like this. You know what I'm saying? Like those songs where you just sway to it and everyone does it. So this song is not bad, but for me personally, I don't really like it that much. It is, you know, the lyrics and the instrumental, like there's quality there, but just like for my personal taste, it's not a song that I would find myself wanting to listen to over and over or replaying. So I don't really like this one. But if Yves performs it, like I'm gonna be there swaying, like, you know, it's not like when I don't like a song, I'm not gonna like boycott, or like I'm not gonna, like if I'm at Yves' solo concert, like I'm not gonna leave because they're performing a song I don't like. I want to be there for the whole concert. But I'm just saying I don't really like this song, but I still want to talk about some lyrics I liked. So Yves said this song is a fictional situation. So she's like, oh, what would happen if I met someone, fell in love with them, and then we broke up, and then this is her expressing how she like wants to move on, but at the same time a part of her wants to go back and have some of those happy memories with that person. So, you know, the struggle of moving on and wanting to go back in a relationship. When she says, I don't want to go back, but I can't help missing your love. So, you know, we all want to be loved, right? And when we get a taste of love and suddenly we lose it, it can hurt like hell. And people continue going through heartbreak and heartbreak for the endless pursuit of love. That's what I think that lyric is describing. And then she said, oh, let my words fade, I'll dance through the night. So she wants to fade like the afterglow. She just wants to be invisible, disappear from this person. And when she says, I'll dance through the night, I really love this line because we know Yves was a main dancer in Loona, and she continues to be our main dancer, our main swan dancer. So to hear her putting like just like the word dance, that she'll dance through the night, is nice. And I feel like that's a way she probably relieves stress. When she says, lights fading softly, time seems to move fast, silence be lonely, but I be steadfast. I think this shows the first part, time moving fast, just shows how quickly people fall in and out of love all the time. Like you can be in love with someone and you can suddenly not love them anymore, and you can fall in love with someone else. Like, to me, I think that's very, very insane. Like, what? You love this person and just like one day with a click, it stops. Like, to me, that's very, very insane. And when she says, silence be lonely, but I be steadfast, I think one of humanity's greatest fears is to be alone, which is why people are always looking for love and relationships in general. Yves is like, yeah, I get lonely too. It'll be lonely because it's quiet, because no one is there with her. But I be steadfast. But when she says, but I be steadfast, I feel like this line is her saying like, okay, I'm recognizing that I'm going through a heartbreak. I'm alone right now, but I have to be steadfast. You know, I have to actually get over this. You know, I cannot let this become my identity, right? This reminds me of like, you know, the stereotypical meme of like when you go through a breakup and you just like sit on the couch and eat a whole bucket of ice cream and watch movies and just cry because you're just so sad because you broke up with someone. So I think being steadfast is like, okay, understanding you need time to heal, taking time to feel the sadness, the heartbreak, the anger, the frustration, but then being like, okay, like I have to start healing and getting over this. Like life moves on, I have to do other things, I have a life, I have responsibilities, and then I have like maybe goals and dreams that I want to actually pursue and achieve. And while while you're like crying, eating ice cream on the couch, like your ex has probably moved on to so and so, and you should do the same too. You know, you don't want to spend years crying over someone because that's only hurting you. And the last song on the album is called Goldfish. Yves described this song as being a fan song, and she actually admitted that this was probably the one that was a little more difficult to work on, which is why she is very attached to it. So she basically said that goldfish, they live in their goldfish tank, and they watch their owner and they can see everything. So this is kind of a nice comparison to the fan relationship in K-pop, because like we can see what our favorite artists are doing and we're there to support them. Like with Afterglow, Goldfish is not, I don't really like it that much, but of course if Yves performs it at the concert, I will sway to it. I do actually like Goldfish more than Afterglow. I like the guitar in Goldfish kind of give me a little bit of a country vibe, as I do actually like this one a little more, but not enough to like put it on my playlist. So yeah, when she says the lines like, even if you try to pretend you don't know, I keep noticing it. Even if I try to pretend it's not, you look like a different person. So this is basically like, I think this is the perspective of like the fans, even though she said it could be vice versa. It could be this perspective of the celebrity or the fans. But when I heard the lyrics, I feel like this is more from like the fan side, because like we notice everything, right? Like when our favorite musician, artist, celebrity, when they're going through something like a scandal or they're just, you know, whatever, we notice every little thing because we're always watching them, like the goldfish watches the owner through the bowl. I like the line where she says, we're quite different because we're under the same sky. So it's crazy how us regular people and the celebrities, like we're basically the same species. We're all humans, right? And we're under the same sky, we're in the same world, but because of the pedestal that society puts celebrities on, there is this drastic difference. It's like they're larger than life, but we're all the same. So I like that line, how she points that out. And then when she says, when I see you alone, it breaks my heart, we're living together. This to me sounds like the fans, especially in K-pop, like when K-pop artists announce they're going on a hiatus because they're dealing with depression or anxiety, or like they need to, you know, they just need a break because their mental health is suffering because of their activities in their K-pop group, and you know, any type of scandal they get into. So I feel like this is the fans, because like the fans like get so protective and like nurturing over their favorite K-pop artists, and then they're like, you know, like it breaks my heart to see you suffering. Like I remember when Twice's Mina announced her hiatus and admitted she was dealing with a lot of anxiety, how all the fans were just like, oh, we're so worried about you, we're sad, we want you to be better, you know. So like it literally can break the fans' hearts when their faves are going through negative moments. And this line is so cute. I'll just hug you, I'll just look at you, yes you can cry, I'll wipe your tears. I think this is just showing like the fans' support. Like obviously as fans, you can't just hug your favorite K-pop artists unless you're at a fan sign and they give you permission to do so, but usually I don't think you can really do that. But I think that's just showing how like the fans love, like, you know, we'll be here to support you, you know, through thick and thin, and you know, we'll look at you, like you can cry, like we'll wipe your tears. Just like the fans showing their support and saying, we're here for you, we'll support you, we'll send you love. You know, we'll send you love through going to your concerts, buying your albums, commenting on your videos, watching your videos, and, you know, just like supporting the artists. And when she says, you don't have to worry when my heart is calm, that's when you tell me I'll just listen. So for me, this is the fans saying that, telling the K-pop artists, don't worry, when you're calm, when we're calm, like whenever you're ready, you could just tell us what's going on. And I think that in K-pop, we're seeing more and more of that. Like when K-pop artists and groups need a mental health break or struggling with depression or anxiety, it's really nice to see that, like the company will make a statement or the artist will make a statement, and that, like they can say it in their own time when they're ready. Like, I know they have a lot of pressure, but I feel like they really are saying it when they're ready. And that's like, K-pop has come a long way, because in second gen you never hear about like a group saying, oh, I need a mental health break. Like, I feel like in second gen K-pop it was just like go go go, like SNSD Girls' Generation, 21, Kara, Brown Eyed Girls, 4 Minute, Tiara, you name it. I feel like in second gen it was just like go go go, you're happy, smile smile, dance, pose, laugh, be entertaining, be beautiful, be perfect, be happy. And if you're not happy, you better fake it, because that's what everyone wants and that's what we expect of you. So I feel like K-pop has come a long way, where companies and groups, they put out announcements and they're like, and it starts to feel like they're treating their groups and artists as human beings, like with the recent like changes, which they should have always been doing, and it's kind of like the bare minimum, but at least they're catching up to it. So it's really, really heartwarming to see that, like, in second gen you didn't really hear about groups and companies talking about their artists needing mental health breaks, and now in the current gen, we have that, and that's very beneficial for the well-being of the K-pop groups. And we have reached the end of the video, and as usual, I just want to say, whether you watched 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 10 seconds of this video, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next K-pop conversations, and let's all keep dancing and keep streaming Loop, because Yves worked really hard and she deserves to get recognition, and she deserves to have album sales. And I heard that her company is small and broke, so let's support our girl Yves. Let us see our beautiful swan continue to flourish and grow, because I'm really hoping for that OT12 Loona comeback. And now that they've all officially debuted, it's just a matter of time, whether it's within the next year, 2 years, 5 years. I hope it's before 5 years. I really want to see an OT12 Loona comeback. I mean, maybe they can come up with a new name that's related to the moon, but not Luna. Like, yeah, so let's support Yves. Let's support all the projects the Moon Girlies are doing, because they deserve it.